So guys, as promised, I do updates on the cars, let you know where they're at the end of the year. Just something so you can see what's not been happening, especially in this instance of the Capri. As you can see, it's pretty moist out here. Humidity's up in Northwest Florida. Today is the 20th of December, 2021. So we haven't touched the car really in about 2 months. Vincent was going to school for IT. I was working on it by myself for the most part, except for a little bit on weekends. So he finally got a job in IT. He took a job with a contractor on base doing IT work, he thought. So in order to do that, though, he took a pay cut, which isn't, a big deal to get into the field he went to school for. And like I told him, not every job is your forever job. You get this one, get in the door, and then you go from there. So he got the IT job, left the commissary, took a pay cut, and all the stuff that he was hired to do, that he based on his education, he didn't do. Instead of doing stuff with servers and yada yada, he ended up being out in the range, digging digging trenches and laying fiber optic cable and all that other stuff for that like a laborer would do, not a IT guy. So he was not happy about that. I said, well, it's just a temporary thing. Keep applying. So after doing that for like 3 months, he got into a job as a contractor for the school district. And it was a little bit of a pay cut again, but at least he wasn't out playing in the ditches, digging holes and whatnot. So because of the pay cuts that he took, the kind of progress on that sort of stopped. We got to a point where we needed the ignition box, we needed the couple other things before we could start putting it back together. And so that's kind of stopped. We've been monkeying with other stuff. There's plenty to do, keep me busy here. So that's where he's at with that. He's applied. He's been picked up for another job that's going to give him the pay boost, better than what he was at the commissary. And it's just right now it's just the paperwork for that. And I told him too, that time between like Thanksgiving to New Year's, a lot of stuff kind of slows to a crawl when it comes to paperwork and administration and all that. So we're hoping he can, at least by January, he'll be into that. He'll start to get making good money again, or decent money for him, that he can start picking up the things he needs for this. So I think it was ignition box, and I think he's got the line lock. There's a couple other things that kind of the big ticket items. I'm having a brain fart right now, but anyway, that's what he's lacking. Oh, the valve train. He's got the springs. Needs some of the valve train hardware, and a couple other stuff. I got most of the stuff for the engine. He's got the cam, and I've just got to cut some valve reliefs for it, make it a little bigger, and I can go over that in a little bit. I could probably give you a little tour of the garage, seeing how I definitely ain't doing anything outside, and I've got a big mess in the garage. Well, not a mess, just there's a lot of stuff going on. And even just because you got a messy garage don't mean you're like a slob. It just means there's a lot going on. Even Einstein's laboratory was pretty messy. So take heart, maybe being messy is just a sign of genius. You don't know. So I'll put that on after this one. All right, so got this back around, and my more typical way of filming, that's the little Shake Amplifier 3000 that I had for the the tripod for the video that holds my phone, because I hate doing the thing where the guy's holding the phone up and you're like, hey guys, all animated, goofy, and all that stuff. That everybody's got their own thing. Stay in your wheelhouse, I always say, or stay in your lane. So that's just not my thing. I'm more the techie, nerdy type, probably heavy emphasis on the nerdy. But let me close this. So what I got going on here. This is the T5 that I got from Rod. We traded something a while back. He got this out of a junkyard. Oh, wait, actually, that's in the silver car now. This is the one that came in this Vincent's 94 GT. And what happened, the speedometer quit working. I looked, and the gear on the tail shaft came off, so it's floating around inside the transmission. So I looked at this, and I thought it looked pretty darn good. So I ordered some shift pads and a tail shaft gear and some shims for the input shaft, and it's going back together, and it's going back in the car. Found a place that sells the things pretty cheap compared to other prices. The gearbox, I think I've used them before, but on eBay the shim packs were like $60. I got them here, $12 a piece for the it's a stack, I guess, input shim pack. So I ordered 2 of them just because I know I'm going to need more eventually at some point, I imagine. So since I had placed an order, and this is just a stock block 302. I was mocking a head up on it just to see, because I was interested to see if there would be more room to open up that chamber on the twisted wedge. But the thing I saw was kind of striking was, you see all that shrouding around the exhaust side of the chamber? Quite a bit of it's covered up, which is pretty peculiar. And this is a Pro Max of Rodney's. We had these over on in Pascagoula Saturday. This is not the one he had tested, but I'll probably do a video on these two in the near future after I get one side knocked out. This has got a little damage, but it's not terrible compared to the other one. The other one's pretty nasty. And Rod was saying he's going to replace the other head. I got to looking at it, and it didn't have any issue like where it showed where it'd been leaking, where water came through. So I was like, why replace it? I think we can fix that. So I'll get one side done, and then I'll put the other one up on here so you can get a good look at it, and then show you what the what the other one looks like and what I think I can do with it. And then Rod's got a video together. He had the camera out every 15 minutes over there, on the way back. So he'll have all the information on that, all the gory details about the flow numbers for this one, my GT40 Explorer head, this one here. And I'll probably do something with this too at some point to kind of just go over what I did to it. But an interesting thing with this is a fully ported head with milled 30,000ths, and then I did the milled the pedestal around the valve guide for dual springs, and I found an arbor so that I'll cut these down so you can use a small valve seal. And I also had the pedestals milled down and then drilled, and then I tapped them for screw-in rocker studs. So these heads are like little over 2 pounds lighter than these heads, and these heads are lighter than a head that hadn't been ported at all. So, and again, that's just something most retards wouldn't worry about, weighing ported heads versus non-ported, but not retard, I guess. And this over here is the the engine going in the Capri. As you can see, I did the cut the valve release already. So, but what I want to do, I've got a set of Chevy valves that I glued some paper to on the bottom, sandpaper. It's actually from one of those big rotary sanders, but I got the stuff at Harbor Freight. If you put these on the head, make sure you got the dowels in. Then you put this in there, and these are 1.6 and a 1.94 valve. And what that does is give you a little bit more room around here for the valve to go in, so it gets you some radial clearance around the valve, because that valve isn't going in and out exactly straight every time. So especially when you miss a shift, So you want to have a little bit of clearance around the edge of your valve, and that's what the slightly larger valve is going to do. And this is, you know, you've seen this in Rod's video. I didn't go all gaga over the harness like he said I did, but he does tend to exaggerate. You know, it's for dramatic effect for the video. And this is just some other junk up here. The other two AFR heads, my twisted wedge heads, a set of ported Explorers that are got the back from the machine shop, so they're ready to go on something once I get something to put them on. And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous garbage, dash pads, all garbage. And then this is the traction lock for the LTD. And yes, I've got those in there soaking. I've had them forever, so I figured I'd use them. But I'll see what kind of a stack I can put in here and get it back together. Hopefully get it in the garage sometime next week, maybe. We'll see how that goes. And then a trunk I got from Roger. He gave it to me when I bought a bunch of other stuff. He was just trying to clear stuff out. But I was thinking of cutting here and seeing what kind of weight I could get out of it. I thought I wrote on here how much it weighed. Yeah, 21.6 pounds. Ideally, you know, you don't want to take weight off the back of the car, but if you're trying to get, you know, if you can get like double the weight off the front of the car versus what you got off the back, you're still a net gain, I think. So we'll see what this is, you know, it's a free thing, so why not see what I can do with it. The only thing causing issues is going to be the way the trunk seals on here. But we could get some weight out of it, maybe a little couple of pounds or something. We'll see. And of course the rest, that's an E6 head. 2 P heads Kyle gave to me that I'm going to give to one of the guys. He's always brought stuff down for us. Can't think of his name again. I'll have a name brain freeze right now. 79 Beans 347s is his handle, I think. Funny I can remember that versus his real name. He's got a Pinto. But whenever he comes down, we'll get those to him. That's kind of it. You know, there's a set of staggered Cobra rims I got from Kyle. That wrapped up Holly Systemax I got from Richard Sickles. And the brake calipers for Vincent's car, the Capri. Just a bunch of other garbage. And that's about it. It's boring stuff. And then the twisted wedges that are going on, probably end up going on Mustang if I ever get to that point, onto that short block right there. This is Vincent's 331. That's the block for the Dugan wagon. That's the 347 for the my 88 GT that will hopefully see the light of day sometime after I get the Dugan wagon done. But and then of course got the shelf of intakes. So like I said, you know, if your garage is messy, it means you're getting stuff done. Most of the time, or you know, something like that. Go with that. So anyway, that's all, fellas. Next, I got to do update on the blue car, the Super Trooper, and then Poodle Pecker. And I think that'll be it for mine. All right. Appreciate y'all. Later.